Hey everyone, this is my 2004 Volvo V70R, and today I will be doing the entire Projector retrofit headlight process. So, we're going to start off by removing the headlights and bumper. Alright, bumper is now off. Just kind of unplug the fog lights and stuff. So I'll just bring it over here. And then it is on to the headlights. Alright, I managed to get the headlights out in the end. Alright, yeah, here are the headlights. Left, right. They're in pretty decent shape. There's a Laminex kind of film over the glass, so hopefully I can peel that away and they'll be perfect. Or I might just keep it on because they're honestly not very like foggy or anything. There's a bit of overspray on this rubber thing and a little wiper arm, but it should be fine, I think. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna start by taking these apart, but it's a little dark right now, so I'm kind of just gonna pack it up and resume this tomorrow. Alright, it is now the next day, and I will begin by tearing down the headlights by taking off this little plastic thing, and then taking off these metal clips that go all around. I think there's 4 or 5 of them right here. Alright, I've now gotten this rubber kind of molding thing off, and I've also gotten all these little clips off, as well as the headlight wiper motors. And so now is the difficult part of actually separating the glass from the housing with a heat gun. So I'll see how that goes. Alright, that was very stressful and very hot and a lot of glue, but I was able to get this off right here. Got the bezel here and the glass on the ground right there. Yeah, now on to the next one. Alright, a little while later, and I've now gotten off the glass on both of these, right there and right there. Yeah, this is the bezel. On the other one, I've already gotten rid of the reflector, just because I don't really like the orange look. Although I am thinking of maybe painting the reflector. Using like kind of like a color match sort of look to the bezel. I don't know. I'll see what I do. It might look good, might not. Also found out that this headlight has a broken like DRL kind of bracket. Compared to this one, which is like the right thing. This one is not. Hopefully I don't need that for the new DRLs, but we'll see. So yeah, now I'm gonna get to disassembling the whole HID part, and yeah, I'll check back in. Alright, quite a bit of time has passed now, or probably like about an hour. I've gone out all the HID things, such as the, I don't know what they're called, but all these different things, all of them are out. All the things that make the high beams raise and lower, all that's out. So now it's on to trying to figure out how to implement the DRLs into here and here. I got out the DRL bulbs from here. Although one thing that I noticed is that this whole unit is very floppy, and I thought that was kind of strange. And so this little thing is the only like clip actually holding in this, whatever you would call it, the bracket kind of thing. These two, that's right there and there, are both broken compared to here, where they are intact and intact. As well as this one, obviously. Not really sure what I'm gonna do about that. I do have an extra, like an extra P2R headlight that has those. I just would have to take the other one apart and take off all the glass, which I don't feel like doing right now. I'll see if I can figure out some other way to do this. But if worse comes to worse, I do have that other headlight. But anyways, for right now, this one is obviously mounted good, so I decided to just mount in the DRL LED just to see how it looks. I'm really happy with it, so yeah. Alright, it is now the next day, and I forget if I mentioned this yesterday or not, but I ended up bringing out my old headlight that was cracked. You can see the glass over here. Came off in 2 pieces just because, I mean, it was completely cracked. It made it actually a lot easier to take off, but whatever. And so then I'll just put this glass back on it when I'm done. Because this one here, I think I showed this yesterday, but it's just completely loose and just wiggles around. This one is not. This one obviously sits very good. So yeah, I'll be using this one now. This is the one that originally came with the car before the glass got cracked. So yeah, hoping that works. Then yeah, so I'm going to tear down this whole one, get it to the same state as this one, put in the DRL there, and then I'll get working on the shrouds and the reflector, trying to get that to fit nicely, because I really like the look of the shrouds with the reflector. Some people just do it with like just the shrouds, which I'm not really that big of a fan of because I think it looks kind of unfinished. So I'm going to try to mold it into this, or like use a Dremel and things to get it to work. Yeah. Alright, a little bit later, and I've now gotten the headlight with the cracked lens all disassembled. And I've also gotten the DRL light installed too. I switched out the turn signal bulbs there and there, so now they match. Next up, I'm going to paint the reflectors to match the bezel. And then, once I've done that, I need to figure out a way to cut away the headlight reflector to fit the shroud, which might be kind of hard because they are very different sizes. So, yeah. Alright, I'll start off with painting the side reflectors. Alright, I was able to paint the reflectors, and as you can see, it is pretty much a perfect color match. I am extremely happy with how they look. Now, I mean, obviously they're not, you know, Euro bezels, which would have been cooler, but for what they are, they're pretty good. I think it looks better than just having that weird indent there. Alright, so here's where I'll be ending it off for tonight. I've got 2 different kind of ideas. So originally I was planning on going with trying to use the reflector with the projector lens, or with the projector. So I dremeled out a lot of this here, but I still found that even with that, it's not nearly far back enough that it needs to be. Like, it doesn't clear the glass, and there also isn't enough thread behind here to actually get the nut on to hold it in place. I've been talking to people online, and a lot of them have like cut holes down here, and it's been quite the process trying to fit the projector lens, or whatever, the projector in there. So I also just thought, like, hey, what if I do it without the reflector? Because I've heard of people who've done this too, done it this way. And so it's obviously much easier. I mean, I've already gotten this in. It pretty much just bolts right up. And then tomorrow I'm going to try to, because right now this shroud doesn't fit because it's hitting the bottom right there. So tomorrow I'm going to Dremel that out, try to get this to fit, and then see kind of which version I like better. I think that technically this will look better, but I think like very marginally, because the bezel covers, I mean, because the reason you kind of want it, I think, is just to cover up some of these like plastics or metals behind, like this and all that. But with the bezel and everything, and with my, you know, with everything being silver, kind of matching this thing, I don't really know if it will be worth it, worth the extra pain trying to get this thing to work with the reflector. So I'll figure it out tomorrow, but this is where I'm leaving it off here. Alright, it's now the next day, and so far what I've done this morning is I have used a Dremel to cut off a bit of this shroud. And this makes it so that the shroud now fits over the projector perfectly and does not contact the bottom. And I think I've decided to go without the reflector, because just I think with the reflector, I think it will be a lot of extra work for little to no gain. Alright, I've now gotten both projectors mounted in both headlight housings, and I've also gotten the HID bulbs installed as well. I can't remember if I showed this, but I dremeled out the shroud for this headlight, and it fits on perfectly, just like that. The other one I've also dremeled out, but I've already shown that. Yep, so both of these shrouds are done. Pretty much the headlights are all fully assembled as far as, you know, the internals go. Next up is I just gotta finish up all the wiring and wire up the DRLs and the projectors and all that. Alright, quick update. All of them are wired up. Or yeah, all the lights are wired up on both of them. You can see we got the caps back on. Yep, caps on. I dremeled a small hole in the bottom to get this wire through that will be going to the resistor, which will be mounted somewhere on like metal in the car. So yeah, then I'm gonna try to make a little plastic piece here to like fit back up and use some kind of glue to seal it. So yeah, all the wiring's done, and the resistor wires are coming out of the thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna test it here in a little bit, hook them up, see how they're angled, and see if they all work. Alright, we've been running into a little issue where only one of the lights is actually engaging the high beams. So here's high beams off. You can see that only the projectors are on. Okay, now try the high beams. See, only this one, the actual projector, is moving. You can tell the little thing's moving, and the DRL is also activating. This side, nothing's moving when you turn the high beams on and off, and obviously the DRLs are not turning on. So it's probably just a wiring issue, but yeah, we'll get that sorted tomorrow. On this headlight, I don't think I said this outside, but we kind of thought that the DRL seemed very weak, like when the high beam was on. Like you could actually like look into it and like not get blinded. And so then both my theory and my dad's theory was that most likely because there were 3 wires. It was the ground, the high beam, and the DRL wires. And so in the instructions, it said that the DRL was the white wire and that the high beam was the red wire, but I'm pretty sure that was probably incorrect because, yeah, although we can't test the daytime ring lights when it's, you know, the middle of the night, I assume that the daytime running lights would have been like blinding because they're on actually high beams. So, yep. That's probably just a small little wiring error, and we're just going to switch to that. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. So this one obviously has that same problem. It just never was able to actually actuate the high beams, so we weren't able to notice it. I'll update you guys tomorrow morning. Alright, it is now the next day. A lot of time has actually passed. It's like, you know, noon. But yep, we've got everything sorted out, all the wiring's good. Basically what happened is that, yeah, I think I explained, the DRL and high beam wires were just swapped for both of them. So now this acts as a high beam when it's actually on, you know, turned on as a high beam, and it also acts as DRL. And on this one, the problem that the headlight, or the high beam not going on at all, was just that one of these little connectors had slipped and like wasn't actually connecting. So yep, we got all the wiring figured out. I put the shrouds on, reflectors back in. Yeah, right now I'm just gluing on the reflectors onto the bezel, just like that. Just letting them dry a bit. Then pretty soon after that, we'll just be ready to put them in along with the glass, and then probably just let it dry for like, 24 hours or something like that. Not really sure, but a long time. And then, yeah, we sealed up the hole coming out of the bottom that hoses the wire for the resistors. So basically this will just hook up to there, and then this will mount to, I'm thinking, the crash bar, I think. Not really sure, but it says it has to be mounted to a metal surface, so yeah. So yeah, next up is to just put on the bezels and glass. Alright, well, we're pretty much finished now. I mean, got the glass all back on. It's still cooling down right now. And yes, I know this glass is kind of nasty. I want to clean it off, but it's got like a protective film over it right now, which is still warm. This is still warm. This one's a little cooler because we did this one first. But yeah, glass is on. I'm pretty happy with them, honestly. I just kind of need to clean the glass because the glass kind of ruins it a little bit, but yeah, looks sick. Right now, I'm still just running the stock bulbs here. I mean, I've heard that those Philips Gen 2 bulbs are great, but I think they're like almost $200. I don't know. Unless these are like terrible, which I really don't think they will be, I don't think it's worth $200, but yeah, we'll see. Here you can see how we cut a hole and then just kind of put some like goopy kind of stuff, like silicone sort of thing on it to protect it and seal it back up again. This, like I showed before, those will go to the resistors, which will be mounted somewhere. Yeah. Right now I'm just going to put on the headlight wiper motors again and put on the rubber thing. And then they're going back in the car, honestly, because I don't think they need to cure for that long. Once they cool down, I'm pretty sure they're kind of hardened and they really don't need to dry for any longer. Alright, well here they are. I got all the little accessories on. One thing that I know will bother me for like the rest of my life though is the top of this reflector is like not very well sealed. Like look at that distance there compared to here where it's like perfect. Maybe you can't tell on camera, but this one is like slightly poked outwards, but whatever. Time to get these things in the car now. Alright, I got them all mounted up, with the exception of the bumper. Didn't really feel like I needed it right now, and I don't really feel like putting it on when it's so dark. Probably can't see anything, but they're in. Very bright. So now this is just the low beam. And look, go pretty far. Now, turn on the high beam. The high beams are blinding. Keep in mind, this is stock bulbs. Look at that. I'm gonna have to take it on a real, like, dark road, but look at this, man. That is crazy bright. You can tell how dirty my lens is. Look at this. This is insane. Alright. That'll probably be it for tonight. Actually, I might adjust them. But yeah. This is incredible. Crazy good. So yeah, I'll probably check in with you guys tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day, and I've already gotten the resistors mounted up. I just used some double-sided tape to mount it onto the crash bar. This other one I mounted a little farther under, just because there wasn't really space up here with this, like, line here. But yeah, just mounted that one there, mounted the other one over there. Now it's time to get the bumper on and finally finish this up. Alright, well that pretty much marks the end of this project. Got everything back in, and I mean, I'm super happy with them. Obviously, I mean, there's the lighting benefits that you'll actually be able to see things at night. But I mean, look at them. Especially with like the, the Euro-esque kind of reflector look. That looks sick. It looks like 10 years newer. Obviously, I kept the headlight wipers because I love headlight wipers. They're the next best thing to pop up headlights. So yeah, that's it. I think I'll probably throw in some more shots at night just of how well these things do. But I mean, look at that. It's crazy. Alright. Well yeah, there it is. The Projector Retrofit project. Alright, well, it looks like this project might not be over just yet. I now have a warning light. Bulb failure, daytime running light. That's not good. I'm kind of worried that one of the resistors may have been... 'cause I mean, this worked last night. So I might have messed something up with the resistors, which means the bumper has to come back off. But for right now, I think I'll just adjust them. Well, actually, I don't know if I can adjust them, but I think I'll just let it be for a little bit, see if it goes away. If it doesn't, then great. Alright, right now we are adjusting the headlights. Currently the high beam is on, and the camera doesn't really pick it up well, but these are bright. I mean, it's crazy how bright these are. I'll go and show from the driver's cockpit, or whatever you want to call it, driver's seat. They're incredibly bright. Yeah, they're more than I could have asked for. They're crazy. Well, I guess this project has kind of come full circle now. It started in the rain and is now ending in the rain. Well yeah, as you just saw, last night we adjusted the headlights, and they are incredibly bright. And yeah, I think that's where I'm just going to end it off. It looks like a completely different car, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm super happy with them. I also did an oil change and washed and waxed the car. But the paint still isn't really that great. But it's better. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. So yeah. Thanks for watching. That's about it for this video. So, yeah. See ya.